Okay, back again, my people. This is the LB podcast, and as usual, it is your World Cup 2026 final preview between Spain and Argentina. I'm here with my brother, Statman Stana, to preview the game and try and look at who could end up winning the FIFA 2026 World Cup. Is it going to be Argentina twice in a row, or we are going to have Spain win it after they won it, I think, in 2014 or so, or 2010. Yeah. So, Stana, let's review our predictions before we get into the preview. I think you said it was going to be France and England who are going to be in the
Yeah,
final. Am I right?
yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. So I said Spain versus Argentina. And then
You were spot on.
you you also said France was going to win it, right? In the final, if they
Yeah,
made it to the final.
yeah. I said
Okay.
whoever wins that game would win it.
Okay. Okay. So now you think Spain is going to win it, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I said Argentina was going to win it in our last video. So I'm going to stick to that and say that Argentina to win this final. So
Okay.
why do you say Spain is your favorite? After watching the semi-final between England and Argentina, also between Spain and France, and also taking into consideration all the games that they've played throughout the World Cup, why do you still think Spain is going to win it? Because I've heard a lot of analysis post the semi-final games, and I can't help but have the feeling that there is a bit of recency bias when it comes to analyzing Spain because of how they played against France, because of how well they controlled the game, how well they made France look very average. People are now beginning to sort of do some sort of revisionist analysis to say that Spain is going to bop Argentina around. They are going to completely dominate the game. But the reality is that before that semi-final game between Spain and France, we
Yeah.
hadn't seen Spain put up their best performance. Also, when they met a team like Portugal, who were a little bit closer to their level, they couldn't dominate the game the way they did against France. So is there a chance that even though they dominated heavily against France, it is not going to be the same against Argentina? Or are we going to see that full total domination like we saw against France in the final?
um, just after the prediction that I made, later on, I don't know if you watched the preview or the preview we did on Pro, but when we were doing the preview on Pro, I actually said Argentina was going to qualify ahead of England, and I stick with the France one. But in saying that Spain is going to win it, and the question that you're asking, will they have that sort of control? Will they be as dominant as they were against France? I would say no. Because Argentina, even though their midfield, they have an aging midfield and whatnot, Argentina are still a more experienced side. And you see, for the France game, France couldn't even get the ball back. France just had to sit and wait for Spain to make a mistake before the ball gets back to them. But Argentina have ball winners. They can win the ball back. They can actually win the ball back and actually try to play. And Argentina actually, from the start of the World Cup, you would notice that they really like slow build up. They like to hold on to the ball as much as we see them doing comebacks, and most of their comebacks, they're having to come from behind. Teams are sitting deep in a low block. They're having to break them down. They do have a lot of possession as well, just as Spain, just that they do it in a bit of a different way. Because mostly when it gets to the back end of their game, especially the knockout, teams try to sit back, and that is why they have majority of the possession. So maybe you'd come to the conclusion that it is because teams are always trying to defend against them. That is why they have much of the possession, but they are a very dominant possession side even before the start of the tournament. It is I would say Lionel Scaloni's um, print on the team. They are a very high possession team as well. They do it a bit different from how Spain does. So I think in phases of the game, Argentina will also have the ball. They will have the ball. They will try to also play. They are very, very slow build up that I've seen them do. They'll try to do that as always. So Argentina will have the ball. I just feel the momentum that Spain has built over the course of the campaign so far, the group stage games, they started to build momentum slowly, how well they control games. And also, you do notice
Just
that
before you go
when,
on,
yeah,
before you go on, a quick question. So the way Argentina normally plays towards the end of games,
yeah,
can we just say it is because teams decide to sit back? Isn't it also a reason coming from the fact that they force teams to sit back? Because I think they're a very good possession team if they want to be. And sometimes they feel it is not necessary for them to do that throughout the entire game. So they sit back a bit. They don't press too much. They don't really exert that much energy. But when they have to, when their backs are against the wall and they need to have the ball, they are very good at having the ball. Because against England, I think after England scored, people just say England sat back and defended. I have a different opinion about that because I watched the game back after England got the first goal. There was a scenario where Romero got the ball. He was being pressed by Kane and I think one other England defender
mm,
in his own penalty box, just around the edge of the 6-yard box. And the way he rolled the ball from his right foot to his left foot and passed the ball through those two defenders with a thin space between them shows you that those guys are confident. If they want to keep the ball, you are not getting it. So to some extent, if they play against Spain and they decide that they want to have the ball, I have a feeling that they'll be able to hold the ball, and Spain are going to struggle to get the ball. I don't know if you think that is something that is a possibility.
yes. I agree with you completely. When they want to have the ball, they will have the ball in face of the game, and they're actually very good at keeping the ball if they want to. They're actually very good at keeping it. Remember, they also have a guy in their side, a little guy. I can't even remember his name. He wears the number 10, that little guy. He has the ability to move through spaces that may not even be there and just pop the ball around, keep possession. And remember, Argentina don't really use the width unless they have to. And
Mm.
a team that doesn't use the width as much like Argentina means that they always try to use the center. And by using the center, you can only use the center by popping the ball around, short passes, build up. And so, yes, Argentina can really do that. The only thing that I said in the preview when we're shooting a preview on Pro was that this time I feel like if Argentina don't take care and they go behind again, I think they will be facing a different animal than what they face so far. Because as much as when they do go behind, they up their gear and force teams backwards. Spain are a highly technical side, and Spain will still try to maintain or even go up another level after scoring the first goal by controlling the game as much as they can, taking the sting out of the game, slowing the pace of the game down by having the ball.
But
So,
if I remember correctly,
mhm,
I think against Belgium, Spain conceded the goal from Belgium after they had gone one up, right? Is that correct?
yeah,
And then they
yes,
scored. They scored to make it 2-1.
yes.
Yes. So that means that it is very possible that Spain would go up and Argentina will force them to sit back. They just can't do anything about it because I think if you face a team that is able to just switch on, flick a switch, and everything changes. The mentality changes, the energy in the team changes, the approach changes. You'll be forced to sit back a bit, take your time to adjust to the new shape, the new mentality of the opponent, and then come again. If Spain, for some reason, tries to always go high pressing, I think this Argentina team is quite good at drawing teams out and creating spaces in behind. So they might be able to find those spaces because it has been possible for a team to come back to draw to level the goals
Mhm.
before in Belgium against Spain. So maybe against France, it was a different ball game. So I don't want to dwell too much on the France game to say that Spain is going to totally shut the game down when they go one goal up, because I think that Argentina is a different beast altogether, and it is possible. Because even when you look at the game between Portugal and Spain, you couldn't really see total control from Spain.
Mm.
They just couldn't control the game the way that you would expect a Spanish team to be able to dictate the play, as they did against France. So there's a possibility there that we might not necessarily see the kind of Spanish performance we saw against France, because I think France is the reason why we saw that um, passage of play, that full control from Spain against France, is that France's team is not really a high pressing team. They don't really press. What they do is that they sit back and hold on to their shape and then wait for the opponent to make mistakes. The issue there is that with Spain, they don't really make a lot of mistakes when they have the ball, and you are not really pressing them high. They don't make mistakes. So the strategy that France used against the other teams they played against, who were also trying to possess the ball and trying to come at them, was that those teams, they make mistakes when they have possession. They are not as well drilled. They are not as cohesive as the Spanish team. But when it comes to cohesion, which of these two teams do you think has the better cohesion, Argentina or Spain? Because I think this Argentina team has been together for quite a longer period compared to the Spanish one. I may be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Cohesion. That's a good question. I think both teams do have a lot of cohesion, but I would edge towards Spain because theirs is more controlled. I feel they are they are able to um they start games well and they end games well. So that is why I'll edge it for Spain. Again, I also think when you look at Spain, I think their fullbacks will be very vital in the final as against Argentina's fullbacks. I think Argentina's fullback they are the weak link of their team. Tagliafico and then the other one on the left side. And I think you look at Spain's team and people don't really pay attention to that. Pedro Porro has the most key passes for Spain. Marco Cuellar on the other side has the most chances created, the most big chances created. So because remember, Alex Baena always drifts inside. So it's Cucurella who often does that, causes those issues on that left hand side. On the right hand side, and that is also, I think, the reason why Lamine Yamal hasn't really been on top of his game, because the team hasn't been conditioned on him like in the Euros. In the Euros, it was mostly all balls through the flanks. It is Nico stretching on the left, Lamine Yamal stretching on the right. This time, they are very much doing it in the middle and then in the half spaces down the left and the right with those fullbacks. So I also feel their fullbacks will need to, Argentina's fullbacks will have a job on their hands dealing with overloads. They will need to be concentrated in the entirety of the game. And also, for Spain, I also felt in the game against Belgium, for example, that space between the the center back and then the full back, that space is also an area of exploitation for the other teams as well. Because when they move up the pitch like that, I feel at times Kubasi, when he's isolated, moving out wide to defend those last spaces at times could be a suspect. And I don't think he has been tested as much. But they do very well, Luis de la Fuente, to limit the deficiencies of that Spain midfield. And that is why in the game against France, you saw that they squeezed the pitch so much. It was a very high line, and the high line was really coordinated. So Mbappe was getting offside a lot. But Argentina is very good in finding that ball behind. Remember, Alessandro Martinez, I think for me, is one of the best players when it comes to finding that late running behind. Cuti Romero is also very good at doing that. So they do have what it takes to exploit that.
Yeah, talking about spaces, what it means is that Argentina has a certain Lionel Messi who is very good at finding the space. He's the master
Yeah.
of it. he just walks around, and then by the time you realize, he received the ball in acres of space, and you are in trouble. So the Kubasi and whoever is playing on that
Back
right
up.
hand side, Pedro Porros, the space in
Approve.
between those two guys.
Yeah.
How do you think Spain is going to adjust to be able to contain Messi? Because for me, I think that the main threat for Argentina is that when they receive the ball, they can quickly find Messi because of that space and the high line that they play. And normally, when people talk about dealing with Messi, I heard Gary Neville talking on that Sky
Roy
Sports
Keane.
program that they normally do.
Stick to football.
Stick to football. And Gary Neville was trying to make an argument that the manager Thomas Tuchel should have told Nico O'Reilly to stay on Messi and prevent him from receiving the ball. But I think what he was really forgetting is that you cannot stop Messi with one man. You need two guys at the very least. If you want to really put the brakes on Messi, one player cannot do it. No player on this earth can single-handedly handle Messi for not even for 20 minutes, let alone the whole 90 minutes. So Spain would have to find a way to put two men on him or to find a way to block the spaces around him. So if that is going to be the case, it is going to also give the spaces to the other players in the Argentine team. So just like Gary Neville was saying that they should have blocked the space for Messi, they should have doubled up on him. What it means is that he's going to leave acres of space for McAllister, for Enzo Fernandez, players who can actually finish in crucial moments. Lautaro Martinez, what's the Atletico Madrid guy? Alvarez. These are players. They just don't score goals. They score crucial goals. They are known for scoring crucial goals when the game is very, very tight. So if you double up on Messi, no problem. What about the other guys? So that is where I think the issue is going to be for this Spain team as well. Even if they try to shut down the space around Messi, how are they going to control the other players who are also very, very dangerous on the break?
I have no idea how they are going to stop Messi. And like Roy Keane said to Gary Neville, managers have been trying to do it for 20 years. I have no idea how they are going to stop Messi. I think what they could possibly try to do is that for Spain, when Messi walks a lot, unless they are in need, then he locks in. And that is where, so in the first half against England, he very rarely drifted out wide to the touchline like that. He only started to do it at the final 10, 15, 20 minutes. Then, because that is, you can't just stay on Messi that wide like that. It will stretch you too much. So you just have to leave him there. When the ball goes to him, then you go and make sure you put the brakes on him. What they may have to do is to stop passes going out wide to him when he does drift there. They have to limit the amount of balls that Messi receives. That is probably their best chance. I don't putting two men on him at a time will work, but like you said, it also gives a lot of space for the other players to do it, because that is what created that first goal for Enzo Fernandez. Elliot Anderson was shadow marking Enzo Fernandez, but immediately he realized he had left Jess Spence to deal with a 1v1. Okay, quickly, let me go and help Jess Spence defend the 1v1. And that was where the game turned. Should have trusted Jess Spence to deal with a 1v1. We could have still failed anyway, but he should have probably
Exactly.
done that. But looking back at it in hindsight, it is logical. It is Messi. Let me go and help him defend the 2v1. He leaves the free man. Messi, as smart as he is, realizes that he's 39. He can't go around Jess Spence with the best of speed. He doesn't have it anymore. He could probably tried against Jude Bellingham, didn't work. So he slips Enzo Fernandez and then they find him. So they need to limit the thinking time that Messi will have as well when he's on the ball. Get close to him. You might probably fail, but there should be people in and around the vicinity. If he dribbles one, the other one is right there to win the ball back or to make a tackle. Whatever they have to do to stop him playing. They don't need to give him the opportunity he does. He very rarely raises his head to locate the pass anyway, but They have to find a
I
way. They have to find a
I
way
also
because they
think
will
that
find him, especially if they are down.
yeah, I also think that one way Argentina might try to nullify Spain is to go the Cape Verde way. And the Cape Verde way would be just sitting, allow them to have the ball in on dangerous areas where
Mm.
they can't really hurt you. And then when you win the ball deep, you have Messi already walking up there. He's not going to track back. We know he doesn't do that. He's going to be up there. So just win the ball, give the ball to him. Cape Verde were able to create a lot of counter-attacking opportunities, but because of the lack of quality, they couldn't take it. So with Messi, if he's up there on his own and you win the ball, give it to him, he can hold onto the ball, wait for his teammates to arrive, and then
Yeah.
give the crucial pass. And that, I think, is one way of killing this Spanish team. But before we end the video, quickly, compared to last 4 years, 2022 final, where we had a 3-3 final, a blockbuster game, do you think we are going to have such a similar game this time?
Uh, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, the 3-3 tagged by many people as probably the best final to ever have been played in football. So I don't see it happening twice on a bounce like that. I don't see it happening twice on a bounce like that. And for the fact that I'm tipping Spain to win it, I think if Spain are winning it, they will win it in a controlled way. I'll see a 1-0, I'll see a 2-1. That's probably what I'm looking at. But just a quick one on the point that you raised. I don't also think if Spain sit back, they would be able to contain Argentina. I don't think Spain are the best team sitting behind the ball, and that is why they very rarely allow teams to come onto them. That is why they always try to control the games by having much of the ball. I don't think they are the best team when they will sit behind the ball. And also,
Yeah,
who is
yeah,
running in behind when they get the ball? Yazabal wants to drop. Baina is
no.
dropping. It's only probably Lami Yamal. And I don't think Lami Yamal is quick, but he's not really a sprinter, like
Even Lamine
he's
Yamal
not a
isn't
road runner.
really the kind of player who likes to
Yeah.
receive the ball in
He's not
behind.
really a
He
road
always
runner.
wants
So
to receive it to feet. So
yeah. But
yeah.
what about what would you say would be the ideal situation, how the game would end? Would it be a goal
Okay, yeah,
scoring one, a boring game? What are you thinking?
yeah. In terms of how this game is going to end, um, I don't know. I have a feeling it's not going to end in a draw in regulation time. I think it's going to finish in regulation
Okay.
time, and one team is going to win it. And
Of course, one team will win.
for me, it's going to be Argentina. No, I mean
Okay.
it's not going to be a draw in
Mm,
regulation time. We are not going to have extra time and all that. I think it's going to finish in 90 minutes with Argentina slightly edging it by
mm.
two
I
goals to
would
one.
love extra time though.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
would love
I
extra
wouldn't
time.
mind extra time. I wouldn't mind extra time. Just that I just have a feeling that Argentina, with the way they are playing and everything, for me, um, the confidence I have in Argentina is not only about the skill and the quality they have. For me, I think it goes way beyond the quality. The mentality comes into it. History, it looks like history is going to repeat itself. When
Yeah,
the
and you know what
World
I
Cup
actually
comes
thought
to
about a few minutes
America,
before we started the pod. You remember the final we played against Madrid in 2022 where Vinicius scored a winning goal? It is
mm,
identical to how Liverpool played in that competition, to how Spain are playing, and how Argentina
yeah,
played to how Real Madrid are playing. Real Madrid was doing comebacks in all their knockout games. They did a
yeah,
comeback against Chelsea, against Madrid, against City, and we were kind of cruising through. I think it was only Villarreal that we had
mm,
to come back from behind in the second leg, but it was very comfortable for us. And if we are
yeah,
going by that,
yeah.
then it means Argentina would probably take it. But I'll still root for Spain, though.
Yeah, and I think that is one reason why I think Argentina is going to do it because they they just win. It's almost inevitable, and that is why I don't want to blame Thomas Tuchel very much. I understand all the criticisms that is going his way because of the selection he made prior to the tournament and the decisions that he made during the game. But I think this Argentina team, they almost seem inevitable. They almost look like no matter how hard you try, no matter how difficult you make it look for them, they just find a way. Because I was watching the game with my wife, and when England scored, And they started putting pressure on England. I said, no, this game is going to end with Argentina winning by 2-1. I just had a feeling that no, it was just so obvious that these guys are never going to back down. And lo and behold,
It happened.
that is what happened. So, so your prediction, what will be your prediction? My prediction is 2-1 in favor of Argentina. How about you?
I'll go the same 2-1 for Spain.
For Spain. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's touch a little bit on the bronze medal final. Now, FIFA it's not calling it third place anymore. It is calling it the bronze medal final. So it
Oh,
is actually a final,
wow.
which is actually quite funny to hear. But between France and England, who are you going for?
I think this one of the most useless games you'll find anywhere.
Yeah,
I think this is
I
this is
agree.
a money laundering game. It's a game that FIFA is using to steal money from the fans. Nobody needs this game. But anyway, it's been there for quite some time now, so it's not like this the first time. Who would
Mm,
win? I probably go France. I think the way England lost the game, I think England are lost. They're in shatters right now. So I think
yeah.
France will take this one. I don't want to go too tactical about it. I don't think it'll be any the two managers will go into it with any tactical sort of plan to desperately going to win the game. I just think the quality of France and their bench. I probably think both teams will make changes, and I just feel
Mm.
France will still have a strong team even if they make changes. So France will probably edge it. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Normally, these third place games are quite pretty high scoring because both teams are pretty relaxed. It is not going to be cagey. Like you see semi-final games, final games, you see the first half is very cagey. Nobody wants to make a mistake. This
Yeah,
game it's not going to be like that.
yeah,
Everybody is going to they are going to play quite freely, move the ball, and try
yeah.
to sort of enjoy the game rather than just stressing about it. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I expect France to be able to come up top, maybe a 3-2 or a 4-3 win for France. So yeah, any last words before we go?
Third and fourth place. If it ends in a draw, extra time and penalties.
I don't know if there's extra time because that would be absolutely
Because there
crazy.
needs to be a
I don't
third
know if
place
there's going
team.
to be extra.
So I know that there will have to be a winner at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
there has to
That's
be a
that,
winner.
that's for sure.
So yeah, I know there will be penalties for sure if it ends in a draw in regulation time, but I don't know there will be an extra time period before the penalties. That one I don't know. So we'll see. Okay, so we'll end the pod here, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to both our channels, and also share the video if you can, hype it as well. We'll come back your way again after the final to review the World Cup and also the final game, and then we'll continue to bring you content on Liverpool as usual. Thank you very much for watching. See ya.